So I talked to some Minnesota Vikings fans yesterday, and we had a legit discussion. The Minnesota Vikings are in what they believe. Some of their fan base believes that they're in tank mode. They're in tank mode. They're 0-3. The odds of them, at least the Detroit Lions, had a win this time last season. All right. Now, in order to get Caleb Williams, which is what they need, a franchise quarterback, has even been talk of the Jets trading for Kirk Cousins on the last year of his deal. And I don't think he's going to get re-signed, extended, or any guaranteed money anymore. So the question that I have is, will the Minnesota Vikings be sellers at the trade deadline? Now, Mr. Poole got jokes, said you can sell me on any edge rusher, and that's only half true. You can sell me on a edge rusher, but not any. So the question that I have for the Detroit Lions fan base is, should the Detroit Lions be buyers at the trade deadline, which is in 4 weeks? It's literally, matter of fact, I want to say it is the day that we play. It's the day after our Monday night game against the Raiders, who, by the way, we could beat. After what I saw last night, we could beat them. All right. So I'm going to keep it $150. All right. Because that's what I do. I still think we need an edge rusher on our team. I know that we had 7 sacks yesterday. Hey, yay. But I know it was a good game. We went from 1 to 8. We had 7 in a day. How could we possibly need a pass rush? Well, we still need one. Every team is different. The Atlanta Falcons, I don't know what was going on with them. Offensive line looked like pancake, and Desmond Ridder holds the ball a very long time. Not taken away from my guys, but that's just the reality of the situation. There's an individual that could be maybe, how we traded TJ Hawkinson to the Minnesota Vikings at the trade deadline. We traded for Jamison Williams, and I heard yesterday that Jamison Williams should have been a Minnesota Viking. I don't know how true this is, but according to the fan base of the Minnesota Vikings wanted Jamison Williams, but they were pressured to trade and make that trade from the upper management. All right. I don't know how true that is, but take it with a grain of salt. So who am I talking about? If the Minnesota Vikings have a fire sale, would you want them to trade for Danielle Hunter? I'm going to say yes all day long. Danielle Hunter, all right, in 3 games has 5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. 5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. And right now, I would take Chase Young. He would probably be the cheapest option. I think the more expensive capital option would be Brian Burns. He also is going to cost some money. He's the youngest of the bunch. Danielle Hunter, okay, how old is Danielle Hunter? Danielle Hunter is 28 years old. So he's the oldest of the bunch. I think they gave him $20 million for the rest of the season. Now, the only problem I have with Danielle is I don't know if he was holding out or holding in or holding on like LTD. Either way, I still think we need an edge rusher. Y'all not going to change my mind. So the question that I have for the chat in the comment section is, would you trade for Danielle Hunter? Grit says yes. Braylon says, yeah. Katie says, absolutely. You can play him outside and on the edge. Can we get Hawk back? I wouldn't want nothing to do with him. Patty Grimes, why would we get another DB? Wait, what? Why would we draft a stud guard next year? Yep, and Brad traded up. I was going to get Olave. We do not want Hawk back. Okay, Lion King, yes. I see you, bro. Why for yes? Patty, let me see. What are we trading for him, says Nick. Okay, that's a good question. Let's go to Tankathon and see. Now, according again to the Minnesota Viking fan base, they are saying that they don't have a bunch of draft picks. So we're going to find out right now. So let's find out. Because Nick, you hard to please, bro. What's going on with you, man? What's going on, Nick? You all right, bro? I can open up the phone lines. We can talk it out. My friend. Okay, let me see. So let's go to the Minnesota Vikings, who currently have the 3rd pick in the draft. Yikes. I say, oh my God. Okay. All right. So the Minnesota Vikings have a 1st round pick. They then pick in the 2nd round. They pick in the 4th round. They pick in the 4th round from us for TJ Hawkinson. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks. 7 picks. They only have 2 in the first 3 rounds. They pick at their first round pick, which is currently number 3. They pick in the second round, which is currently number 34. And then they don't pick again to round 4, which is currently 100. So what would the Detroit Lions give up for Danielle Hunter? Let's find out. Let's go to the Detroit Lions, who currently are in the playoffs. Picking 26. We have pick number 26, pick number 57, pick number 65. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 picks as well. So let me ask you a question. What would you do? Eric says, depending if they take it, I know we traded them in division, but not sure they will back. Okay, Eric, I hear you. I think they will. I think that they will because they're hurting right now. They need a franchise quarterback. So they're hurting right now. The Minnesota fan base thinks they need to tear it down. Like that's where they at. That the people that I talked to yesterday on YouTube, they think they want to tear it down. So Nick, what if they don't have a 3rd round pick? What if we give them the 3rd round pick back? Okay. Here's what I do. Let me know if y'all like this. I give the Minnesota Vikings the 2024 3rd round pick, which is essentially what we got for TJ Hawkinson. I give it back to them, and I'll give them a 2025 2nd rounder. That's what I would do. I'll give them a 3rd and a 2nd for Danielle Hunter. That's what I would do. Aaron says that's smart. They really do need to. So what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. Danielle Hunter, 20. He's already got 5 sacks. The issue with him can come down to money. He's also going to be a free agent next year, I believe. So will it be worth it to do that? It depends on a lot of these 1-year players. It's going to depend on extensions, locking them up for a long period of time. So of course, if we can't, we're not taking a loan out for anybody. The only way we do that is if the Detroit Lions are, I don't know, let's say at the trade deadline, they're 6-1, like the Minnesota Vikings were last year. They're 6-1. Okay. They think that this person can help them beat the San Francisco 49ers, help them beat the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Help them beat the Dallas Cowboys, who look very suspect yesterday. So for me, I'm really making this deal if there's a long-term element to it. But if not, I don't want to pull a Everson Griffin 2.0. You know, he wasn't going to take the defense over the edge. I think Danielle Hunter, Brian Burns could be those guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below.